Hi, how are you guys? Welcome to my studio. It's Finnabair here, and we are going to do the Christmas tree makeover together. And I hope it's going to be a fun project, something relaxing, something that you may watch in between your other everyday tasks as well. Or maybe you are going to join me and create something as well. I have a little bit of a plan. I want to use some metallic paints, sparks. I want to use gesso. I want to make it look vintage. So hopefully it's going to be something enjoyable. And of course, this plain Christmas tree is going to turn into something a bit different. Hello, Katya. Hello, Ashua. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. And I hope you are having a great time. We are starting our Christmas preparations. Well, we already did some Christmas preparations, but I mean cooking and preparing the food and a little bit of the Christmas schedule. So it is getting busy. That's why I really wanted to do that show on Monday. So tomorrow and Wednesday I can focus on last shopping and a little bit of cooking. It's just two of us, but I'm not sure if you know, but in Poland or in Polish tradition, Christmas Eve dinner is a big thing, so you have to do certain things to do it properly, and that means you have to prepare quite a lot of stuff. Hello to Canada, and hello to Poland, hello to Germany, and hello to Sweden. So far I can see that you are joining. Thank you so much. And the story about this tree is, I think I bought it like, oh, hello to France as well. I think I bought it on sale after Christmas in one of the shops with the home decor stuff. Hello, hello. Oh, you are late with Christmas food. Me too. I should be doing the herrings 3 days ago, but they're out of stock, so only today, and you got the herrings from the shop. Like, I'm not sure if they're going to be any good for the Christmas Eve, but I hope. Hello, Blanche. So hello to Mexico. Hello, Monica, and it's good to see you as well. So this is from Christmas sale, and it was sitting in my box with the Christmas decorations for probably 5 years. And I finally decided, okay, it is time for the makeover, so I can put it somewhere in my house for the Christmas time, and it's going to look more decent and more matching the general style of the home decor I have. So we are going to grunge it up and vintage it up a little bit. And I'm just going to give you maybe 5 minutes to join. And if you can, please share that live stream to Create with Prima Group and Finnabair and Friends Opera Studio Group, and my patrons. If you can, please do the sharing on our patron group as well. Okay? Oh, Katya, I'm just hope this is going to be the end of the story. You're going to recover well, and then it's just going to be okay after that. And I know so many of my friends had it already and they are fine, but it took them some time to get back to the shape. You know, it is not so easy and it's not for everybody. Yes, this will be relaxing. This will be fun. You can just focus on something else. I will start the proper cooking tomorrow and on Wednesday. And I'm sure for every country there are some special recipes you should follow. In Poland, the challenge is to make 12 dishes for Christmas Eve. We are not going to do that. This is too much for 2 people, but we are going to make some staple things, and that just needs some time to prepare. So, oh, hello. Greetings to you, Erini. It's good to see you here as well. Hello, Teresa. Hello, Rose. Good to see you. I'm so sorry for mixing it up. Rose just messaged me saying like, oh, come on, you are too early. You should be starting 1 hour later. and I realized I forgot to change it in my schedule because there were 3 of us streaming today, and I was just a bit too early. And yeah, she saved my day. Hello to you, to US. It's good to see you, and I hope that you are getting into that Christmas mood no matter what. I know it is not easy for everybody. I know this is not what it's supposed to be, but the most important thing to have the positive attitude and to focus on the good things and on the Christmas spirit, or just to focus on the holiday time, the best things that we can get out of it. So I hope you're going to have some good time. Maybe you're going to watch some nice movies. Maybe you're going to go for a walk if you can. Maybe you're going to have some nice food. Maybe you're going to do some crafting or making art. Hopefully you're going to spend that time in the nice way. We had some ideas what to do this year with my husband, because we have no friends coming, no family gatherings, of course. We are far away from our family anyway. So first I proposed maybe we should do the Christmas day the Icelandic way. You know that I read people in Iceland, they usually get books for Christmas, so they spend the Christmas day on gathering together and reading the books. I think it's perfect for introvert people. You just socialize, but from the distance, and reading the book. Sounds really nice. So that was part of my plan. But then I'm not sure if the... Oh, Andrew's not here, so he doesn't know what he's getting. Okay, so I'm not sure if the courier with the delivery of the books is going to come on time. So the option number 2 is going to play some board games. We've got some board games at home, and some of them are okay for 2 people to play. So this is part of our plan as well. And I have to tell you, I'm really thinking about watching some proper Christmas movies, but I am so bad I have no idea what to watch. Like, we don't really know too many of them. And yeah, exactly, reading is perfect. There's some which we keep watching over and over, like Holiday, or the one or not no it's something about love. It's a really good movie. And we keep watching Home Alone, of course, but this is Polish tradition. People are crazy about Home Alone. I don't do it every year though. So if you have some good movies Christmas movies to recommend, you can write it down in the comments. I will try to check it later, because you know, something nice, like really something nice to do. Yes, reading or crafting after family meeting is what I love to do. Yeah, usually after family meeting we were too tired and overfed, so we were just able to lay down and read or watch the movies. But this year, I told you, no friends, no family, nobody. So we will do it our way from the beginning till the end. Hopefully it's going to be fun. Okay, so I think we gave enough time for everybody to join. And if you can recommend Christmas movies, like really good ones, let me know. And I'm going to focus on doing that Christmas Carol and the Grinch. Okay, Grinch. I never seen Grinch, and this is something that I probably supposed to do it. So that's number 1. And Christmas Carol, I know Christmas Carol really well. So that's a staple one. That's classic. Okay. The Grinch, okay. Oh, so Katya, you are the second one that would recommend the Grinch, okay. So it should be funny, right? It's a really nice movie. Something light-hearted. I will put the second screen on just in case, if I can't read the comments on my phone. Okay, this is me here. Yeah, that's me for sure. I just want to see the comments. Come on, comments. No. This is the first time I'm using this thing. How to do it? Oh, okay, now I can see the comments. I just have to put it upside down. You've never seen The Grinch? Yeah, I'm the same. I have no idea why. Oh, it's your dad's favorite movie. That's a good recommendation. That's really good recommendation, and I think that means I should try. Hello everybody. Well, I like the Tim Burton's movie a lot. The one which is A Little Halloween City That Is Taking Over Christmas. This is really good one. So we are going to start with it, and of course, look how shiny it is. That means we have to start with some kind of gesso. My plan is to turn it more vintage, so I'm going to start with the neutral white gesso, just one coat to get rid of this shiny finish. I suspect they add maybe some kind of wax on the top of this wood. Yes, Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the one I really love. Thank you for the title. This is okay, Olga, I noticed that. I will see this one because it sounds amazing. Hello, cześć Karolino. Hello, girls. Okay, so we are starting with just one coat of the gesso. And of course, the best way is to put the gesso on both sides. So we can, if you want, you can decorate two sides of the Christmas tree. I'm just going to do one side today because I would just have to repeat similar things on the other side, and this is just doing 2 times the same thing, and they really want me to keep those lives here not too long. So let's pretend the other side of the Christmas tree doesn't exist for today. And just one coat without perfection because we're going to paint it again anyway. This is just to get rid of this shiny effect of the, I think, a little bit varnished or polished wood. So I'm just giving one coat of the heavy gesso first. And this is, of course, a primer. And primer makes everything easier. So it will be easy for me to stick the things on it or to paint it. If you don't know how to start, gesso is always a good solution. My gesso is almost finished, so I'm dipping my brush in the water as well, so it's not going to be so thick. So I'm doing the live show here, and Andrew is in the kitchen and he's chopping the onions because we are supposed to marinate the herrings today. And he only got them from the shop today because they were out of stock, so we have to do it as soon as possible. So this is my job after we finish with the Christmas tree. Herrings. Oh, no worries, you are not late at all. We are just starting. We were chatting for a little while before I started painting, so you don't have to worry at all. We are all relaxed and having good time trying to think about nice things, keep the positive vibe. No, I didn't watch it, Olga. No, I just put it on my wish list. I have to check it. I'm not huge on watching movies. That's the thing. I usually don't have much time to do so. So that's why this Christmas I want to catch up with some of the movies because it looks like I'm missing a lot of things in my life. Okay, that looks like a good start. Let's pretend the other side is also painted. I wanted to do it quite simple, but with more vintage steampunk vibe. So I'm going to do a bit of unusual embellishing. So there will be some embellishments that are not going on the Christmas tree that often, but they go on my projects often. So I will feel absolutely comfortable with that. And I think this is what you were expecting me to do anyway. So now let's dry the Christmas tree before it's going to be decorated. The techniques I'm showing you today, they're really easy to follow, really fun. So you can try to do this kind of techniques on any kind of object, of course. Very easy to follow, very versatile as well. So I hope this is going to be inspiring. And it should, you know, not all of the projects you do, they have to be high-end technique masterpieces. They can be just pleasures to create, just to focus on the nice things and glue and paint away without pressure. Hello, hello everybody. I can still see people joining. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Hello, hello, oh, Peru. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So as you can see, I'm not doing the perfect painting here. I just want to cover everything with the coat of gesso so it's easier for me to work. The final coloring is going to be later. So who knows, maybe I will make it quite dark. You never know what happens. It doesn't have to be perfect from the beginning. And to a lot of people who are starting with mixed media, I try to give that tip that it is much more important how you finish than how you start. Making project beautiful from the start till the end is very hard. So it's better to just make your life easier and the creation easier to work on instead of keeping everything pretty. Hello to Georgia. Hello to Australia. What time is it there? I think it's early morning. So I just put one coat of gesso and I'm cheating. I'm not painting the other side. I will do it later because I don't really have so much time and it would be problematic for me to work on both sides because I want to lay it flat from time to time. So you have to use your imagination. I will do similar things on the other side of the Christmas tree as well. Yeah, 7:20 a.m. I was thinking this is early. Okay, so you can see I'm checking with my fingers if the gesso feels dry, and it does. And I had the idea I would like to add some of the traditional decorations. So I would like to add some stars, but then on the other hand, I've got prepared. Hello to London. I got prepared some mechanical elements and some leaves and flowers, which are going to be more unusual embellishments for the Christmas tree. And then I've got some paints in the shiny colors. They're going to be sparks, but I want to add shades of brown and a little bit of maybe orange to make it gold and rich and a little bit of the rusty feeling to it. Now, when it comes to gluing, you can use anything really. For example, we can use modeling paste. This is Tri Oryski pro popelku. Very old film, beautiful fairy tale. You have to write it down for me, Olga. I have to find it. So, modeling paste is is kind of the medium that is very underestimated because people don't think much about it. They think it's mostly for stenciling, it's mostly for adding white effects because it is white. But the truth is, It's very, very good flexible glue. You can use it instead of gel medium or heavy body gel if you don't have it on hand, especially if you're going for the white project anyway, or you know you're going to repaint something completely. So modeling paste is a good glue. I'm going to use it today. And the plan is to create composition, of course, on the top of the Christmas tree, where it's going to be some kind of a Christmas star. And then we are going to make some embellishments with a big group of embellishments happening on one side and then something for the balance. So it is going to be quite fun, I think. I was thinking what to use. And first I started looking at this beautiful lace. Look at this lace. It's really amazing design. I have a part of it already cut. So I was thinking this will fill some of the spaces nicely. And I have also that one, but I think this is a little bit too big and cutting that would be a shame. So I decided to try to arrange elements from that lace somewhere here to add this vintage vibe to it, because we want to get into vintage grungy feeling. And then these kind of flowers, they can be good start. I don't know how many I can fit. Probably not too much because they are quite large. But on the other hand, it's just a matter of arranging that in a nice way. So, you know, I can try, like this, for example. And then I can start composition here and these leaves will be clearly visible. That is good plan. I have some extras here as well, so I can try to add more if I want to. So this is like one of the easy steps you can use to create texture. And of course, you can try with the stencil, but this is a very uneven piece of wood. It's easier to stick something on instead of trying to use stencil. So that is like an easy choice for me. I will use a bit of this paste, so I'm going to take it out to make my life easier. Ah, yes, this is birthday of Blanche. That's true. We've got some people here who've got birthday today. And how cool is that? My parents have birthday in December as well. My dad is just beginning of December and my mom the last day of December. So I will be sending them my wishes as well a little bit later. But now happy birthday to Blanche. Okay, so look, this one here is not needed because I need to put this group here instead. And it's just a happy gluing project. I don't want to stretch myself too much. I was doing live shows for 2 days already. So this one is supposed to be to encourage people to try mixed media. So not too high-end complicated. Yesterday we had a lot of fun. No, sorry, it was Saturday. Today is Monday. I keep thinking it's Sunday. So on Saturday I had a big challenge because my patrons, they wanted me to create project with the 12 ingredients only, and some of them were quite crazy. They wanted me to create project where I'm going to use eggshells, for example, and eggshells and modeling paste and tissue paper and black gesso. It was a challenge, but I loved it, and the result is not bad at all. I have to tell you, I'm quite proud. It was stretching and it was good challenge to play with. I have to see. Okay, yeah, I can see you. Thank you for birthday wishes for my parents. I will let them know. We were talking to each other today, they are well, which makes me feel a little more relaxed, because they are just two of them together, and you know, it's always a bit stressful when you are so far away and you can't really help if something happens. So I really want them to stay safe and far away from any kind of dangers at that time. Poland is not the best when it comes to infections at this point, so yeah, I'm not saying anything to them, but I'm worried. I want them to stay in the summer house as long as possible. But unfortunately, the freezing cold weather is coming, so I guess they're not going to stay too long. Okay, the last flower, maybe I'm going to put it here, so you can have a look. This is what we have done, just using bits and pieces of lace. Yes, and then on the top there's going to be a star. And of course, I told you I want to add a bit of the steampunk vibe to it. My scissors, yeah, you mean the unicorn scissors. I got them from my friend Sylvia Gryczuk. She was buying them for herself, I think, and you could buy several, you know, in one package. So she gave me one pair of unicorn scissors. Now, I was looking for the perfect star, and I found this one of my barn stars, but this is a little bit too big. So I checked for the packaging, if I can find the full package of it, and I was going through different options, and then I found I have the full package of the stars. And here there are 5 of them, so I have 2 of the medium-sized stars, and one of them will be just perfect size for my Christmas tree. So this is my plan for the top. And of course, I'm not going to stop with just one star. I'm going to add more elements to it. So I made some choices already. I looked through the options, and I've got quite cool mechanical elements that can fit into that composition. For example, like this. Come on. So I'm putting layers, and then I'm going to finish that with this knob and a little bit of the screw head. So it's going to add first element of the steampunk finish to it. So you can glue it on the Christmas tree first, or you can try to glue it on the side and let it dry before. So this way it's going to be a little bit safer. You know, this is just happy creating day. I didn't really plan to stretch myself with something very complicated to do, anything too challenging. We all need energy for another purposes, right? We need to use our energy for surviving the Christmas preparation time. Some of us need to recover because they were sick, and you need to just take your time to feel better. And I really hope if you are recovering after being sick, you are taking all the time you need and take it seriously, because you have to take care of yourself, of course. And this is the most important thing. Look how cute it is. Very simple concept, some of the layers, and now I can just dry it with the heat gun. And when I'm doing the other things, this is going to dry and I can just stick it on the top kind of easily. So the steampunk Christmas tree is coming together nicely. And tea. When I design the embellishments like that, I always think how they are going to look once you layer them one on the top of another. So when I make the sketches, I try to always get different sizes. So if you want to use them together, they're going to fit. They're going to look nicely. And you can see many of them. They have hole in the middle. And this hole is to use the brad if you want to. Some people prefer use brads because then they can fasten things and even spin them around sometimes. So this is also cool effect. So that's why the flowers, the knobs and other elements, they will have holes in the middle. And I will just leave it on the side for now. So this is drying. Let's put it in the safe place. And now, you can see I started big group of lace here. So this is going to be the main composition on that side. And then we will see all these details coming out of the main dimensional composition. And then we are going to have something for balancing and the star on the top. The tea, this is a very popular Irish brand. It's called Lions, yes. We have Barry's tea and Lion's tea, and they both are very good strong tea. And you love my rings. Thank you. I love jewelry. I wear a lot of jewelry, as you can see, so it just makes me feel better. So these are some of the rings that I have. I never take them off unless I have to for some kind of cooking or exercise, but that's why my jewelry gets broken quite easily as well, because I'm not too careful. Some people ask me, how do you start compositions, like the cluster compositions? And the truth is, the easiest way is to pick the element that is going to be your focal point, and then start from that and make it bigger and more elaborate. This is the easiest way I found so far. And when I teach the classes in person, I always suggest, okay, decide where you want to start, put an element there, and then spread. So I wanted to do composition with the flower and some extra leaves. I have some leaves which are done in one of the Prima molds. So I was thinking there would be a really dimensional element I can use here. I want to use the big flower as a starting point. However, I want to remodel it a little bit because it does look boring. I use a lot of these flowers in my project, so after some time I just want them to look a bit different. So I'm going to remove the middle and I'm going to stick another flower inside. So this is going to be like this with the rose. And this is going to be the starting point. So let's see how this one fits. Not bad at all. It's going to be this kind of metal. Maybe this will go down. This will go up. And this one will go here, like a starting point. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just preparing the space for the embellishments to go into different directions. If I'm going to pull it a little bit more up, I can also add this pocket watch, which is going to hang nicely from the composition, and I can put something pretty in that part of the composition. So I'm going to stick the pocket watch first, then I will take my scissors and I will just clean it up a little bit because it's imperfect in some parts. It's just resin used in the molds, and I never have the patience to make them pretty, so you know, Perfection is overrated. Nobody's going to see it anyway. Okay, so we have the starting point. That is going to be the beginning of the composition. Hello, hello. Witam, Ula. And I can stick the flower inside of the other flower. So this is going to wait here. I can think about adding more of these, or I can think about adding mechanical part, and I think this is going to be the best choice for now. Especially I found one which is broken in a perfect way, so that is going to go into my composition now as one of the first grungy mechanical elements. Now I have spaces here. I could add something under that flower as well. I will pull you down a bit. So let's see what I've got. I need some smaller bits and pieces, some smaller embellishments. I pick the things which are on hand. These are leftovers from my project I was doing on Saturday and on Friday. So they are already arranged a bit, so it's going to be a bit easier. I have this really cute star here as well, so maybe I'm going to use the star. Hello to Mexico! I'm glad you are here. Listen, if you have any questions about what I'm doing, you have to sometimes repeat the question, because I'm only able to look at the screen from time to time. And if I'm not answering, it's not like I'm, you know, this kind of mean person who doesn't want to answer. It's just I may not see it. So just keep asking or make it, you know, with the big letters so I can see there is important question coming. Because I would hate to miss your question by accident. And that may happen if I'm not careful enough. That's a good start, I think. There are little bells. Oh, thank you. I just like to change things a bit, because it does look boring to me if everything is the same over and over. And the whole point of making the composition is to play with it. So I love adding elements and creating a little bit unusual compositions, so people will look at it and think like, what have you done here? Like, what is it? And this is like the best moment when they really stop and they stare at your project for some time. And of course, sometimes they will be like, oh, this is really cool. But sometimes like, oh, I don't get it at all. You have to tell me what it is. Oh, this bird is going to be absolutely lovely here, I think. I have another star. I'm going to add it here for the good balance. What is the paste you're putting on the back of each piece? That is a very good question. As I mentioned before, there are many art mediums that you can use for gluing. So, of course, one of the most popular choices of mine will be the heavy body gel, which is transparent. Also, another option, the 3D gel, gloss or matte. Today I'm using modeling paste because it's very underestimated medium. It is white after drying, but we're going to repaint it white anyway, so who cares? And it's very, very strong glue. As you can see, I keep working and the elements are going together nicely. Look, this is almost done, and I prepared that for the top of my Christmas tree. So if you don't have gel medium, but you have modeling paste, you will be very successful with the gluing as well. No. That is an option, but... And if you have a lot of empty spaces, like I do here, it may be a good idea just to put a big blob and press it down. Or you can put something here to lift it up so it's easier to glue elements. Okay, so I need something small here. It may be a smaller cog, for example. And I have a smaller flower. And I also wanted to use pebbles, which are really small, well, different sizes of round embellishment. I think that one looks really good. This is also from the mold. This time it is from Mechanical mold. This is the set I made for Prima, I think like 1 year ago. Something here, and something here, and this composition is going to be ready. So let's look at the pebbles. Pebbles, pebbles, where are my pebbles? They look like this. You're asking me where I'm located? Well, originally I'm Polish and I live in Ireland and I work for Prima Marketing, which is company in the United States. So I'm not sure which part of this information is the most valuable for you. But this is how it is. Okay, the pebbles. I'm sticking the pebbles now. They're going to add extra dimensional bits and pieces. I love adding the small ones on the bigger surfaces and they look really magical. Sometimes I make jokes that they look like little chicken pox. So that is something that you can add as an extra here and there, especially when you have big plain surface. So we are adding these and they are going to give us a bit of the extra touch. I can find something to fit inside of that flower. That's kind of, oh, here. I was thinking, oh, I just glued that and then I won't see it. But of course the bird can see on the wheel here, of course. That makes sense. This is too big here. I want something smaller because this one goes in that spot. See what I'm trying to do? I don't really want similar sizes next to each other. That's why it's good to have sets of embellishments which have different sizes, because it is going to make your composition much easier to make. When you have all of them the same shape, the same size, it is getting complicated to get nice results. So we have a lot of different shapes and sizes on the table. So it works more like a puzzle game, and this means you can always find a nice spot to fit your element in. So I'm not sure how it is for you, but for me, it works this way, that I usually only use the things I can see on my table. I keep forgetting that I have more stuff hidden somewhere. So I try to focus on preparing whatever may be useful, so I can see it in front of me, and then I can quickly access and create the composition. It goes together quickly and there's no problem at all. I'm happy you like the composition. Thank you, Monica. Yeah, well, I'm not sure about England, but here it is, I would say average. It's a bit wet, as always in December. We have about 5 to 10 degrees at the moment, so this is not too cold. I'm used to colder winters, and I'm always surprised how disappointing it is in the countries such as Ireland, because Atlantic Ocean makes everything milder, so you never get like proper frost. And sometimes the frost is good for you because it just keeps everything crisp and fresh. And I just miss it from time to time. But it's not a big deal. I love the landscape here so much that I wouldn't change it for anything else. So yes, this is modeling paste. One of the art basics that I developed for Prima marketing, and you can use it for stenciling. You can use it for adding the extra dimension to your project. You can also use it as a very good dimensional glue, as you can see, except I didn't stick that one because I forgot. Okay, so look, now another trick. You have a lot of empty spaces, right? And this is supposed to stick on the top of the empty space. So what you can do is to find something and glue it in, like a button, or a piece of cardboard, or a piece of wood, whatever you have on hand. I'm looking now on my table to see if I have any kind of cardboard on hand. And my dog is standing here like she wants something. Idź do pana. Idź do pana. Idź, Piotrku, do pana. I think she wants to go out. But why me? She should go to my husband and ask for that. I'm busy. Yes. I had cardboard yesterday and now I lost it. Just give me a second. Go. I lost the cardboard. And this is strange. Well, on my table you can lose everything, but I have this G-board. That is going to work pretty well, so I can add a bit of extra. In San Antonio we have hot and hotter. I remember it was quite surprising for me the first time when I went to California in the winter time for CHA, how warm it was at that time. It is not something I expected. Well, I knew it's going to be warm, but not that warm. Oh, now my cat was trying to escape. Yes, cardboard left on the Sparks paints. No. But you know, it's usually happening. When you need something, it disappears. It's okay, we will do with the G-board. Okay, so look, I tried to lift it, so now it's going to be easier for me to glue it on the top. So you can try similar tricks in the future when you have challenging compositions and you are afraid that it is not going to stick properly. And now we have composition here. We need something to balance that on the other side. And here we need to stick our star. So again, we are going to use big blob of the modeling paste to attach it in the right place. So we have good start already. And then something small here. So I will try to find a smaller flower, maybe. No, this is too big. This one is better. And some smaller leaves, because we have flower and leaves here. So it kind of is logical. We would like to repeat similar elements on the opposite side of the composition. This is too big, but I have a nice smaller one. Oh, this one is good. Okay, not a bad start. And then we go from here. Oh my god, 28 degrees. Wow. Well, it doesn't happen even in the summertime here. When we get 25, people get ecstatic. This is really nice oak tree. Again, one of the embellishments made for Prima. And I'm going to include that into this composition as well. Nice. Maybe something small on the other side for the good measure. And I think this is going to be enough. Hello everybody, I can see people joining. So let me just introduce myself again. It's Finnabair in my studio and I'm making Christmas decoration makeover. So I found not very sophisticated Christmas tree in my stash and I'm going to turn it into steampunk vintage inspired project, which is going to be much more detailed than it was in the beginning. So I'm adding embellishments and lace and I'm using modeling paste from Art Basics collection as my glue to put everything together. And I will show you what kind of embellishments I'm using because I have some packages to make it easier for you to recognize them as well. Now I'm looking for something to put inside of these flowers so they look like they are mechanical. And this is how you can use little screw heads, for example. Or the little knobs. This was inspired by the electric guitar knob. I always getting confused with the Fahrenheit and Celsius because for me it is really hard to imagine the Fahrenheits. I keep checking and converting, but if you don't grow up in this system, it is just confusing. It's probably confusing for American people when we give the temperature in Celsius. It's like, okay, but is it warm or cold? So this is really funny. The same is with metrics. I have such a hard time to imagine sizes in feet. Like inches, it's easier, but feet, I'm getting confused. Like anything around feet is absolutely hard for me. So I have to take my phone and convert. And this is again the thing that I discovered still is happening here in Ireland. In some places, people will be using feet as the measurement they will refer to. And some people will use meters. And this is the moment when I am getting a bit confused and I always have to apologize. It's like, sorry, I have to convert that. It was the story with the Christmas tree as well. They were asking what size of the Christmas tree we are looking at, and I was thinking, I said, well, I was thinking something about 2 meters, and he said, okay, he said something like 5-6 feet, and like, I was thinking 2 meters, and I'm not sure how that was converting. Maybe it was 5 feet or maybe 6, but I think it was more. So in the end, I just smiled and say, well, when I will see perfect one, I will tell you. But you feel like you are some kind of illiterate person. So that's why it's usually kind of funny conversation to have. In Mexico, we only use Celsius and meters. It's so difficult when we travel. Yeah, I feel the same, Blanche. It's the same feeling. Kotku, Pypcioszek mnie napastował. Czy możesz ją odebrać z dworu, bo ją musiałam wypuścić? Obawiam się, że coś tam robi nielegalnego. Bo już jej długo nie ma. And we have to put something inside here as well before we are going to dry it completely and start repainting. So what would fit? It can be one of the pebbles, of course, or we can try to fit one of the mechanical flowers. I think in general everywhere except UK and Ireland. Ireland is also turning to metric, but in Ireland it was all in meters and Celsius. So that's why it is confusing when we travel. Żarownica. Okay, that will be beautiful, but I have to add more. That was a lot. Now I will clean it up a little bit. Well, hello again to some of the new people joining. I hope you are going to enjoy the makeover of the Christmas tree. We are adding elements to it now. And in the meantime, we are chatting about the weather, about Christmas, about meters and feet, and generally just having a relaxing time. So for those of you who are wondering what am I doing here, I'm attaching the embellishments using Art Basics modeling paste, which you can use instead of the glue quite successfully, as you can see. And I'm just going to show you what kind of embellishments I used, what you can look for if you like. Now I take away the embellishments so you can have more space. I need something here. It is annoying. I don't have anything, so I'm going to put this screw head or bolt, whatever you call it. Oh, perfect. Cleaning my fingers. Oh, I got something. I will show you. Look what happened. I got chocolate. Do you only speak Polish indoors? Yes. We don't speak Polish outdoors, except we are alone in the car. We want people to understand what we are saying. So this is, I think, polite thing, and you know, it's also the excuse to practice English. All our neighbors here are Irish, so we speak English, and in general we don't really have a lot of people, Polish people in the neighborhood. We live in a small village, so it is really mostly Irish. There are some other nationalities, but not that many. If you want to find more of the mix of the cultures, you have to go to closer to a big city. So then you will have more of the selection. Yeah, this is your favorite candy as well. I like it. I like it because it has the hazelnut in it. And that makes me so happy. It's like pure happiness. So my husband probably loves me very much because he got me this candy. Now, just to show you, if you're looking for these little kind of screw heads or bolts, you can look for something which is called mini hardware from Mechanicals. And you can look for something which is also called hardware accents. It's another set with different elements. When I finish classes or teaching, I usually use the leftovers and I throw them all in this. So here's a mix of 3 different packages like this style. So this is what I was using to add some extra finishing touches on the composition. Another good idea may be the stars. If you want to add some stars, and here is the Christmas tree, so maybe instead of the screw heads, you would like to have something else. There is a set which is called mini stars, also from Prima Marketing Mechanicals. You can try that. Really nice because 3 different sizes and you have 36 stars in the package. And then if you look for the flowers, I was using flower from this set. Yes, you should eat something. And this is called just flowers, metal embellishments, 9 pieces. You've got 3 of these, 3 of these, and 3 of these. So this is really a good set as well. And the rose is from the set like this. These are the 9 pieces in the package. When it comes to other bits and pieces, there are some also, there are some pocket watches. There was the Barn Star, the set I was showing you. And, you know, it is really, in general, mixture of shapes and sizes. When it comes to molds, one was the Prima mold, which I used with the resin. And then my Prima mold, Mechanica for the mechanical parts. There are also pebbles which come in little jars like this, melange art pebbles. So that is something that you can use for the accents, and there will be a lot of sizes in it, starting from very big, like this. This is the biggest you will find in this jar, through all the sizes like this to very, very tiny ones. You could see I was using for the finishing touches. So the pebbles, 46 little pebbles in the jar, and some of them are tiny, 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 and there will be like big ones as well for the accents. And another good option is to get some cogs or some knobs. There are many sets I have that include these elements. I can recommend maybe the set which is called Machine Parts, Rusty Gears, Rustic Knobs. These are the ones that have great selection of different mechanical steampunk looking elements. So you can see these all come from sets like that. If you want to check Prima website for mechanicals, you're going to see all the sets of the machine parts or metal parts I created for them. And there will be flowers, mechanical parts, there will be leaves, there will be butterflies, a lot of different mechanical elements. So I always have leftovers, so I keep them on my table and then I pick them up, so I don't always have to open new package. And I hope you understand this way of thinking. And that's why I am just showing you examples, but I'm pretty sure you're going to find something cool if you're going to look through mechanicals, and they're all from Finnabair collection, Prima Marketing. I can highly recommend because they are fun to use. So now, good drying. And this is one of the advantages of the art mediums, art mediums which are designed by me. So the basics, you can dry them with the heat gun. Of course, try not to overheat so they are not boiling. So it's good to move your heat gun from time to time. You can try to blow from different angles. So if you have a lot of the paste or gel, it's going to dry more or less evenly. I think that makes sense, because if you're going to burn in one place, it's going to melt. Even the lace is going to melt finally. So, you know, try to be gentle. If you live in California, like some of you, and you have 28 degrees outside, you can just go for lunch, put it outside and come back and it's going to be dry. So I'm going to give it a nice drying moment. I'm checking if you have any questions This is a good moment to ask questions because I can look at the screen. At the same time, I can dry the project. What is the mat called you are using? This? This is... I have to tell you, I have like 5 different mats at home and I have no idea. I think this is just regular craft mat from, it could be from Ranger, but I think it's not. It could be from some Dutch company called Dutch Doobadoo. And this one under, the black one, this is Prima. Prima by Ingvild Bolme. This is the big mat, self-healing mat that we designed 5 years ago, and it's black on one side and turquoise on the other side. So this mat, I can't give you recommendation because I have no clue what it is. This is just craft mat. It's not silicone. So this is anti-stick mat you can use for baking. Hello, Stephanie. When do you know when it's the time to stop adding elements? Tell me the secret. Well, that's a good question. I will let it cool down for a moment because I need to check if it's dry or not. So, I was making this class for my patrons because I have Patreon account where I teach classes for my patron group. And they told me one of the things they would like to learn is the rules of the composition and how to make good composition in mixed media, what to focus on, and so on. And I tried to investigate what is going to be the best way to describe the process. And I found out it is all about the story. The story, yes, Dan is right. This is Teflon heat-resistant mat. Thank you. So it's all about the story. What kind of story do you want to say? Is the focal point is something that should attract attention of the person who is looking at the project. So if you are trying to tell some kind of story, you have to create something for the person to look at. And when you put a lot of elements, you kind of invite that person to travel with from one point to another to see all of the elements. Here, our focal point, in fact, is probably the flower because it's the biggest and the most attracting part, but this is just because I made it so big. But what I really did, I take your eyes from the start through the small flower and then again to the big flower. So you're going to see the whole Christmas tree going from one place to another. And this kind of flow gives you the nice balance on the project. So if you get to the point when you feel the composition and you can see there's nice flow and balance, you're probably done. There are many ways of creating focal point and many ways of creating composition. And sometimes it is just breaking the rules and making something completely geometrical that is going to make it interesting. Or sometimes you're going to make really unusual composition. But the most important thing is, does it feel balanced? Okay? This kind of video that I made, it was giving you a lot of examples. And I really start to think I should probably get somehow the time to put it into the ebook maybe in the future. It's going to help you how to find your way of describing things and how to take your style, how to put your style onto the projects. So it is not always about filling the whole space. It is about what you want to express. For me, I'm just making a decorative piece. And I'm not really telling any important story except I want you to look at all parts of my Christmas tree and focus on this big composition here. And on the way, you're going to see this bird, and then you're going to come here to that flower, and then you're going to have like, okay, that's really rich and unusual Christmas tree decoration. Okay, I'm not sure if I was able to tell you exactly like if it's what you were expecting, but this is how it works. If you want to learn more about composition, if you want to learn more about techniques and about ideas, and you are willing to spend €10 per month as a subscription, you're going to get to the amazing library of the knowledge that I created already. It's almost a year of knowledge. And you can ask my other patrons what they think, but you can cancel anytime if you don't like it. So there's not much of the commitment. So that is something that you can buy for yourself as a Christmas gift. And usually €10 per month. It's like having good coffee and cake with your friend. So maybe this is not a huge investment. I'm just saying that this is community, this is online learning, this is sense of being together and supporting each other. I think it's worth it. And if you want more, there are other options as well. There are giveaway options, there are more videos options if you want to pay a little bit more. And I am just trying to give as much as I can, because this is in a way, filling the gap I have after teaching my in-person classes. So you can ask Blanche, you can ask Karen, you can ask Ida, you can ask a lot of people here are my patrons, I can see that. So Glenda is here. Yeah, you know, it is just different way of communicating, and you are getting notifications when I post something to your mailbox, because I post it on the, it's like a blog. So, but you are subscribed to it with your email. So every time when I add something new, you get notification. I think it works. I'm just saying that in case if you're wondering what that is, because people think, oh, I have no idea if I want that. It's like Netflix. You can watch anytime you like. You can take part in the live sessions or watch them later. And you get the videos which are just to watch anytime. And there are also some other activities, challenges. It is fun. Oh yeah, Vasilis is one of my patrons, and Ilona. See, half of the group here today. So if you want to have something for you, like a Christmas gift, maybe this is a good idea. If somebody is still wondering what to get as a gift, you can give it to your crafty friend. And I'm saying, like, you know, the basic level with €10 per month, it is a great start, because you can see if you like it, and you're going to have 2 videos per month minimum. In the meantime, I started dubbing gesso. So that is to prime everything, so I will be able to add my colors on the top. And now when you have the resin and you have the metal and everything together, it is not easy surface to paint on because it is slippery. Gesso is going to solve the problem. And if your composition is really odd colors, because you were using random elements, it's going to tone them down, and it's going to be easier to imagine the future color palette as well. I'm just dabbing, and after drying I will see if I need to add more or not. Yeah, Aga. You know, it is not a commitment, because Aga is asking, when do you spend the time on all these things? Like, you don't have to spend the time. Like, you have the access as long as you keep the subscription active. It's like the Netflix, exactly. And if you don't have the time, you can watch it later. Like, you can binge watch videos after some time. And of course, if you don't have the time for doing any kind of crafts, if you don't have the time to watch, it is not for you, because you will feel like, oh, I subscribe to something, I like it, but I can't really use it. So it's good to check maybe for 1 month, how does it go? And then if you feel this is too much and you won't have the time to enjoy it, just come back when you have the time, because it's going to be waiting anyway. So you can, you know, subscribe when you will get more of the time. Like, I know, like, I had to cancel some things in my life. For example, I stopped watching TV. I don't watch it. I don't have the time. I don't really have much of the social life except you, because I live in a place where we don't have social life. And this is how I get the time to do other things, for example. Yes, as Ilona said, this is almost like attending in-person class. And if you go to the basic level, you have 2 events per month. Like 2 events are happening per month. So you can do that if you're going to plan in advance. And if you can't, you can try to watch later. We have some people from Australia who are usually not able to do it every time when I do it live, because it's early morning for them, and they watch it after and they still enjoy it. So it's something to think about, because I'm not able to travel, and I won't be able to travel in the next month for sure. I had to find another way of getting closer to people, and Patreon classes, they are good for me because I keep making new things. And they are also beneficial for people who can't attend the classes in person. And this is the closest thing we can get to the in-person classes anyway. So it's like good substitution. It's addictive. Oh, you want to be in retirement already to have so many time only for good, nice things. I understand you completely. Okay, this is after painting with this white heavy gesso. Usually when you dry, the gesso gets a little bit more transparent. So if you want project to be very white, you probably will need 2 coats. It's much easier to paint in layers instead of putting a lot in one time. Because when you put a lot in one time, you may lose the details easily. So let it dry for a moment, and gesso dries quickly. And then you're going to assess, do you want to add more or not? Oh, Ida, you want me to continue with the Patreons because it's fun for you. Czy planuję warsztaty w Polsce? Jak na razie, Aga, to nie wygląda na to, żeby cokolwiek się wyklarowało. Przełożyliśmy na czerwiec, bo no to się tak prezentowało dosyć dobrze, ale nie umiem powiedzieć. Zupełnie nie umiem powiedzieć, co się wydarzy. Ja Cię bardzo przepraszam, bo chciałam przyjechać. Bardzo. Zwłaszcza, że to jest również okazja zobaczyć się z przyjaciółmi i z rodziną. Ale nie jestem w stanie nawet powiedzieć. Ja nawet nie wiem, czy ja będę mogła wyjechać na dłużej z Irlandii tutaj, bo też nie wiem, jak oni planują szczepienia, jak oni planują całą tą akcję przeciwpandemiczną. Yes, see, Glenda is in Australia, and she started all that at 5 a.m. and she is going to rewatch part of that later. And this is how it works. We have to find a way. Becky, I wish I knew another language. Well, I know my English is broken. It is not perfect at all. But on the other hand, I realized that because this is my second language, for many people like me, for people who use English as a second language, I may be easier to understand when it comes to instructions and the way of expressing myself, because I will use less sophisticated and less complicated sentences and words. So I try to think it is not that huge disadvantage that my English is limited and I'm not able to be so fluent as I would be in my native language, native tongue. But in a way, it's a bit helpful for those who are in the same situation as I am. Thank you, Jamie. I know I make mistakes and they're funny ones, and they are sometimes really confusing for me, and I think it's hilarious, but it's okay. Like, oh, come on, we can't be all perfect. Thank you, Monica. It is something that, yeah, that's why I love talking to people in English, because I always pick up new things. I always pick up new sentences, new accents, new ways of describing things. I like to learn phrasal verbs and local expressions. You know, it's always different English, no matter where you go. It's in Australia is different English, New Zealand is different English, British English is different depending which part of England you are, or Scotland is different. Ireland has a lot of dialects as well. It is fun. Oh, your boyfriend loves my my accent. That is great. Send him my best wishes. Okay. So look at what we've got. This is a little bit still moving. I'm concerned because probably the modeling paste here is still a little bit wet, but it should be okay to add color to it. Started to look nice, I think. We have good start. So let's dry it, and then we will see where our colors are going to take us. You know Czech. Oh, this is a bit similar to Polish. Yeah, when you don't use the language, it does go away very quickly. Czech language is a bit similar to Polish, so some words are going to be kind of similar. My husband hears you and, oh, that's your Polish-Irish teacher. Yeah, that's me. English only now, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad as it is now, right? But what we can do is to add this vintage feel to it. That was my plan, to use some browns and maybe some accents of gold. I made it too hot again. Maybe some accents of gold and maybe rusty to add a little bit of the sparkle to it. Yeah, see, Monica, you can understand a tiny bit. Yes, I'm in the US, but now I was born in Armenia, so I can speak Armenian, Russian, and English. Exactly. It is quite cool that we are able to experience different languages and different kinds of culture as well, because it makes us a little bit more unique and we learn more about other people as well. My kids hear you and they recognize you because your accent and give you likes. Oh, that's great. You've got the best kids ever. I love likes. I was planning to add some sparkle and some color. So I would like to include Sparks paints. Sparks have a very visible mica powder inside. They are acrylic paints with the super shiny mica variation in there. The pieces of that mica almost reflect the light like a mirror. So they are paints which have golden mica in it, like this shade of brown has this very, very visible gold in it. And unicorn's hair, this is almost like champagne color. So it has a bit of gold and a bit of silver in it. The mica is very silver. So this is going to give us some sparkly options. And I was looking at this color. This is Phoenix Feathers. Shade of orange with the pink undertone and golden mica inside. So that is going to be something to bring the life to the project. But the first step I would like to do is to add just a bit of the vintage brown. which is going to make the shadows more dark. And we can do that with waxes, but this is going to be hard to get in all of these cavities, and we are not going to have the chance to regulate how intense the color is. With wax, you get full coverage very quickly. Instead, it's easier to work with the acrylic paints because they react with water, and you can thin them down to make them really transparent and delicate, or you can use them in the full color. I have plain shades of brown, such as amber in liquid acrylic version. I've got burnt sienna, which is very versatile brown for the vintage projects. And then there's another new shade of brown called ochre, and this is more like golden brown. So we can try these first to add a bit of brown and then bring the accents with the sparkly paints. Remember, all of these are going to be permanent finish, so no matter what happens, once it is dry, it is going to stay on place easily. In case if we cover too much, we can always add some highlights on the top. It's hard to predict what is going to happen exactly, so the safest way is just to start and see what you want to do. I'm trying to find a clean palette, which is a challenge in this house. So let's say this one is not too dirty. I will take a sip of tea and I'll see if you have any questions. Yes, I'm fantasy fan myself, and I'm quite glad that I was able to come with these names for the paints. The Sparks names are really fun and fairy tale and fantasy inspired, but I wanted to, emphasize and underline how magical this effect is. So that's why we have these names in there. So let's start with the flat ones. These are liquid acrylics, which are very saturated acrylic paints, which are very saturated colors, and also at the same time they are transparent and with glossy finish. So I'm going to use them as a stain that's going to add darker tones to my project here. Just to remind you, before it looked like this. Not so fun anymore. This is better. Let's focus on that part. I'm taking small brush and I will take sprayer with water to help them flow and see how far I can go with these paints to get the vintage look on my project. I'm just trying to put it in the place where it is going to be more or less in the middle. And I'm right-handed, so I need to get rid of this gesso here. Sorry. Ah, messy. That should do. So, small brush and the water. So let's take a bit of this first brown. We'll see what it's going to do. We can put it here in the deeper parts. You can see this one has a bit of the colder tone in it. And then the water is going to take it to the deeper part of the composition as well. We can create the natural shadows that way, and we can combine it with another shades of brown, so this is going to be not so flat and not so plain, because it could be a bit disappointing to have just one shade of brown. So this is amber and this is burnt sienna. You can see how different they are from each other. This is burnt sienna again. And then amber, much colder tone. And the best part is you can play really carelessly when you do it. The water is doing the job for us. It's revealing the details of the molds and the metal embellishments. Plama po gesso wygląda jak krzyk. To jest śmieszne. Ja nawet nie zauważyłam, a już starłam. Okay, so I am playing with these and I'm just adding that paint to reveal the details of my composition. And of course you can see a little bit greenish tone coming from amber and a bit more of the warmer color coming from burnt sienna. And again, a bit of water. Of course, on some point it's going to be very, very wet, so you will have to stop yourself and add. This is ochre, and ochre is going to be something between these two colors. Let's put it here on the top. It's getting this golden tone inside. So you can this way sample all of the colors from liquid acrylics. I do it intentionally so you can pick your favorites as well. So let's do a bit of this ochre here as well, so you can see what is the difference between them. Okay. We need to move it a bit. And what happens if you put too much, right? You can pick up a little bit with the baby wipe as well. So because it's on gesso, it's not soaking in. We can play with these colors and add more or less depending what we are going for. So in the first step, I do basically just like careless dabbing of the paints. So we add this vintage feel to it. Just shades of brown. If you want to create real dimension, you can put darker tones closer to the bottom. So this is going to make the feeling that it really is super dimensional. Okay, let's dry it and see what happens. So as you can see, I was trying to go mostly around the embellishments to show the details of them a little bit better. Thank you so much, you are so kind. So heat gun or hair dryer is your very good friend when you do this kind of projects, when you use a lot of water, because it's speeding up the process and you can go faster to the next steps of your project. It's kind of important. Now we can think, is it enough of the tones or we can start adding shiny? I think maybe I should do a bit more of the dark brown on the bottom. You need more paint. Well, it is, don't we all really? We all have this problem that on some point we discover we need more paint in our life. This little one is so alone here. Poor thing. Oh. Yeah, that's better. And the same here. Too clean. Hello, hello. Somebody's getting addicted to the paint, I think. You need more space for your paints. I know the feeling. You should see my table, really. This, what is happening here, it's kind of a disaster. yes, maybe you. I am addicted as well, so... Oh. Stay there. This one is still moving because I put too much water in there, so I have to take out the water and I have to stick it back. This is what happens when you are too eager to spray water everywhere, of course. But fear not, we are going to stick it. Any questions so far? Because I'm just having great fun here and it turns out better than I even expected, which is great because you have a plan in your head and you never really know what is going to happen. And then people are watching and you start to feel like, oh, where we are going? Are we going the right way? Now we're going to add some shiny stuff. I told you I wanted to try something with a bit of gold in it and a bit of the orangey tones. So I'm going to start with the paint, which is called Sparks Chest of Gold, which is brown with the golden mica in it. This mica is super shiny variation. All the Spark paints have either silver or gold, a kind of special mica. And we will try to do some accents, similar way that we worked with the liquid acrylics. So let's see the paint flow wherever it wants to go. Look how shiny it is. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's do some accents and see what happens. Ooh, unfortunately, it looks gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm getting excited. Isn't that pretty? It is. Unfortunately, I made a good choice. It's hard to stop yourself sometimes, so I will try to be not too optimistic. I will try to stop myself before it's too late, so I won't cover everything with mica. That's the part of the plan, that there will be a bit of the unpainted background as well, but it's hard to stop. It's so pretty. Let's put some of this pinkish coral phoenix feather on that side as well. Ooh. Just combination of the gold, orange and browns, and we have really interesting result, I think. And what I'm missing here is a little bit of the dirty background as well, so I have to spread some paint on the bottom. Let's dry it and see if I need to add more. Any questions for that part of the project? We're using two colors of sparks. One is called Phoenix Feathers, which is coral orange tone, beautiful color. And the second one is Chest of Gold, which is brown with the golden color in it. I will let it drip if it wants to drip. A little bit of the help, so I don't have to hold it. I'm trying to find all the wet spots and dry them with the heat gun. What was the other type of paint? So first I was using shades of brown to make it fun. They were liquid acrylic paints, burnt sienna, which is the warmest brown, and you can try amber as well for cold brown, and ochre, which is a golden brown. And then we had flat colors, and now we are using sparks that include a lot of golden mica in it. Two colors, chest of gold and phoenix feathers. Just checking from different angles again if there's anything I would like to change or help with the color a little bit. So now it's the time to look from the distance and to see if there are any places that you would like to add more color to. And I really think this flower is a little bit sad because it doesn't have too much color in it. I'm going to give it a chance to shine with this phoenix feather. Maybe a little bit more of that orange on the star, and maybe a little bit more of that orange on this flower here and on the star here, just to balance that nicely. Once it is dry, it is permanent, so you can do some color adjustments and to make it a little bit better, of course. Those were just flat paints and not metallic. Yes, Jamie, the liquid acrylics are flat liquid acrylic paints. They can be used for traditional painting, and for me they were like almost like a stain. I wanted colors to get into the project, to get like a background color, and now I'm using more specialty paints which are rich in the metallic finish as the highlight. I have a lot of liquid in here. I will try to take it out with the baby wipe. It's going to dry faster. And now we can think about the finishing touches. So sometimes it's good advice for those of you who are quite heavy-handed with paints. Oh, hello to Hungary. Hello, hello. When you are quite heavy-handed with paints and you wanted to keep part of your project clean and it didn't work too well because you got very excited about the project and you feel like, oh, you love painting, you can always bring the details back if the colors seem to be too much. You can try to highlight the tops of your embellishments and bring them a little bit more into dimension. So that is something that you can do, for example, by brushing gesso on the top. If you feel that, oh, I overdid the metallic, I want to see white again, I want to make it more calm and more flat, right? This is one option. So then the tops of the embellishments will get more matte finish. If you like the metallic finish but you think this is too colorful, you can replace the gesso with the metallic wax. And I'm looking for the white metallic wax, but of course everything in my life has to be complicated. So it is probably going to be the last one I'm going to find, because I have so many here, right? This is how it works. Oh, just give me a chance. Come on, it's probably on the bottom. Yeah. So, just to show you an option, this is white pearl metallic. It doesn't have the label because this is the sample, one of the samples before the production. And if you would like to add some highlights in the metallic pearly color, you can use the wax as one of the finishing touches and just touch the tops to calm down the colors a little bit. If you do it with your finger, your highlighting will be very subtle. If you're going to do it with your brush, you will go a little bit deeper. I prefer subtle because I love the shiny effect I got here, and I just want to highlight the very tops. And waxes are these products that they're for finishing, as if you do the furniture or home decor, you know the wax doesn't like to be painted on, it's resisting. So if you decide to use the waxes, you will do it as a last step of your project. They don't really like anything else on the top, so they also dry permanent, and that means they are going to add a protection coat on the top of your embellishments as well. You can see I'm making that a little bit more delicate, a little bit more subtle, but because my project is so dimensional, even if I touch the flower, the inside, the deeper parts are still shiny, and I'm only touching the top. Look at the star. I'm just touching the edges and the top, but inside here, you can still see this beautiful color of the Sparks paints and liquid acrylics. So in case if you are a huge fan of the vintage, but you are not huge fan of the shiny, you can just use liquid acrylic paints in shades of brown, maybe shades of orange. And this way you're going to get this vintage look without shimmer. If you want to add a tiny bit of the effect, a tiny bit of the metallic, you can go with the wax on the top. But if you like shiny, really like Christmas tree style, really, really Christmassy, you can include shiny metallic paints of different kinds. You can try the Sparks like I did. And then you're going to have this very festive, very rich and quite fun look on your project. It is really personal preference. What I want to show you is that you can paint in layers and change the look of your project many times. Of course, after adding the wax, the change is not going to be so dramatic anymore, but you can quite easily add a little bit more paint in between if you feel that I would like to have more in the background or so. What you can also do, if you like a really dynamic, really crazy look, you can do some splatters when you finish as well. And, you know, splatters are always adding extra touch. So, for example, let's splatter a little bit of that phoenix feathers color. So I water it down and try to add a little bit of this red orange look here and there. It's going to help us create a bit more grungy feeling to it as well. Brown would be too similar to what we have, so I decided to go for coral phoenix feather. I'm going to also splatter on the base of the Christmas tree. And of course I will be all covered in the little dots of the phoenix feather paint. Let me have a look. But I think that looks pretty cool. Oh, poor bird got a splatter just on the face. So I will now dry quickly. Just cleaning the base a little bit, and we will have a final look. Of course, I'm keep drying. It will be completely dry in few minutes. The gel or gesso, sorry, the modeling paste or the gel used for gluing, it will dry a little bit longer. So after 1 hour or 2 hours, it should be completely safe to touch. And if you are planning to send it to somebody as a gift, I would do it the next day. So just in case, if you're planning to wrap it in the bubble wrap, nothing will stick, nothing will come off. So let's have a look at the finished composition, and I will do a quick recap for you if you want to know what was used step by step. Okay, here's the Christmas tree, and we started with the not so pretty orange wood Christmas tree from sales section of the shop. And then I started with the coat of white gesso to make it matte and make it easy to work on. Then I used modeling paste to stick elements of the lace I cut from the bigger pieces. Once it was done, I used the same modeling paste to stick different kind of metal embellishments to create the composition that you can see here. Once it was dried with the heat gun, I put a coat of gesso, and then I made sure I covered my embellishments, especially those which were slippery, so resin, plastic or metal. Once it was painted with gesso, I checked if it was white enough, and then if I needed, I repeated that, dried again, and then in the end, once it was dry, I could start painting. The paints I used for the brown tones, I wanted you to see all of them. This was burnt sienna, ochre, and amber from liquid acrylics. They are flat, transparent, very highly pigmented acrylic paints. You can see them here on this palette. And they gave me flat brown, beautiful, shabby looking effect. After that, we decided we are going to add more life to it, more festive look. And we went for 2 colors of Sparks acrylic paints with a lot of shimmer, Chest of Gold, which is brown with gold in it. And then the second color, it was Sparks Phoenix Feathers, which is coral orange with the gold in it. That is the reason we got so much of this beautiful shimmery finish you can see on the project now. I didn't add any glitter. I don't think we need any glitter here because it's so shiny anyway. And for the final touches, I used a bit of the white pearl wax to give it a bit of the whiter edge in some places because it was very, very shiny. You can see this pearl here on the bird, on the edges of the flowers. And in the end, the project was ready. Have you got any questions, guys? Because you were with me for a long time. And I think it is quite easy set of techniques to follow if you would like to do something. It's really kind of freestyle painting. You don't have to be precise. You let the water do the job for you. I will now show you my face again and talk to you because I like to see people when I talk to them sometimes. So this is what we have done. And I think with the I will have to paint the other side later once we finish, but it is adding nice touch to this quite plain Christmas tree. And of course, as you can see, the composition we've done with the embellishment, it really closes up the whole the whole thing together. So your eyes are following the design. You can see the details quite well, and really believe me, I will take the photos in the daylight, but this is very, very shiny. So it is a bit of vintage, a bit of steampunk, something typically mixed media in style. I will be able to put it in my house now without feeling this is not really my thing anymore. And if you couldn't watch because you were busy, you can always replay that and you see everything done step by step. It was done in under 2 hours, so this was not very long project to follow. And of course, for those of you who prefer to watch on YouTube, and after 2-3 days it should be uploaded to my YouTube channel as well, so you can rewatch it, of course without chat. Here you can see the chat as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the company. I hope you are safe. I hope you are well or getting well. And if you have any questions about anything, I'm here to answer. I really highly recommend checking my Patreon if you like online classes, if you like the contact directly with other people. Check us out. It is something that will give you extra inspiration in the month. And it's a safe place to learn and find new friends as well. If you can visit my website, finnabair.com, remember my most talented design team members create mind-blowing projects for you 2 times per week. Every Monday and every Friday there is new tutorial on the video with the beautiful project, and there are always some challenges as well and a lot of other activities. Check us on Instagram and on Facebook. On Instagram, the account is called Finnabair Studio. This is where we post a lot of fans projects as well. And my private is Finnabair. You can always follow me to be up to date with all that I'm up to. And I think tomorrow or the next day I will be announcing information about Facebook online classes. I will be doing, I think Facebook, that is going to be Adventure event, which is happening every year with Prima Marketing. This year it is going to be online event, and I will be teaching 2 classes with the kit if you are from United States, and if you are not from United States, you can get version without the kit as well. So I'll keep your eyes open. I will be posting information. There is 11 teachers during that event to pick from, and I'm teaching 2 classes myself. So you can check that out. And it's also a great idea for the Christmas gift for yourself or for somebody else. Just saying. Happy Christmas, and thanks from Slovenia. Thank you to Slovenia. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas to you all. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. Try to make sure that you are in good condition, that you are keeping yourself in the best possible mood. Be nice to yourself. Try to do nice things for yourself and for your closest ones you have on the side. And you know, this is going to be magical time no matter what. We have to keep it positive, and we have to keep it the way that it's supposed to be. It should be magical time, and we have to find a way to make it magical. Thank you so much. Sending love from Ireland. And if you need anything, I will be around, of course, and I will be posting updates and information in the next days. I will keep you updated. I have a lot of projects to share, so I will be sharing projects from Friday live on YouTube. The reindeers, they're waiting for publication. Beautiful. I will be posting from the Saturday stream for patrons. I made really cool canvas, and I'll be posting that one. I have to just take proper photos because, of course, now it's the middle of the night here. And yes, the reindeers. If you didn't see the reindeer YouTube channel, YouTube class yet, you have to check the reindeers. This was Friday on my YouTube channel. Just Google me, Finnabair, and you will find live stream 3 hours long, 3 reindeers done. That was cool. 1 albino and 2 brown and silver steampunk reindeers. Just saying, just in case if you need to distract yourself a little bit more before Christmas. Thank you, have a wonderful time and see you soon.